is this? Okay.
Oh my God. So can you help me reach my phone?
Where is it?
On your right side, sorry. Thank you.
No eye contact at all.
Hmm?
This white board has covered everything.
Whiteboard.
White, really a white board.
Oh, okay, do you know I transfer the stuff I asked him to transfer?
Which one?
The boom, what's it called?
The sweepers.
The sweepers. Let's see how to move those things by ourselves. Okay, so can I move this? Okay, so start streaming.
So, that's my eye contact, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry, just do your thing, but that's your camera though.
Okay, alright.
But just because that camera also has you.
I know. Okay.
But that's your camera.
Eye contact.
So I guess there's something before that.
It's fine.
I need to move it before news at 6. But wait, if there's news at 6, there's no way to record.
There's this app to lalo.
Please, can someone check YouTube?
Yeah.
Is it on?
It's showing soon.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG, and my name is Olise. You know, the one and only. Yeah, it's me. That's me. Anyway, bid you warm welcome to the bar this very interesting afternoon, and with me in the studio is.
My name is Tokumbo.
My name is Shola Rogers. Welcome to a brand new dispensation.
I don't understand. What's happening?
I like that.
What's the dispensation?
Oh,
you'll find out.
Thumbs up.
Anyway, we're going to be talking about a few things today at the bar. It's quite interesting, the things that we're going to be talking about. Labour is still in the news. Everybody is still waiting with bated breath and wondering what is going to happen, what they are planning on, or what they're not planning to do. Also, okay. There's the talks. I don't know if anybody really heard about the talks of the girls that were what would I call that English? That were kind of moved to Ghana unknowingly. That were literally those girls wanted to ask. So now there are updates on it. The Nigerian Diaspora Commission that talks on how so a particular man literally tricked his sisters and a few other people to Ghana for prostitution and all that. So we're going to be talking about that also. There's a lot of gist about Nigerian. Maybe let's say a lot of people had hopes about the Spigles. Why not?
But a lot of questions were asked really.
They are?
They are. Not a lot of questions.
They really are. I don't know. I'm just wondering,
Shola is nodding off. Don't worry, we'll get there. I think.
I'm just being honest.
With that.
No, we're not. No, we're definitely not.
I wanted to know.
It's interesting how a lot of people really had a lot of high hopes. Coming from me that me I do sorry.
I did.
It's okay. Generally, I don't even watch Nigerian football, so Why? I don't.
Let's talk about it later. Wow.
See,
Wow.
my blood pressure is very important to me.
Okay, I understand.
I am an Arsenal fan.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to add Nigeria football to the drama. It's not gonna happen. There's nothing anybody's gonna say. It's not gonna happen. So yes, I do not watch Nigerian football. I do not. But it is what it is. We'll see what we're working with, and we're gonna be talking about a few other things. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. So, we're sorry for people that did not see us yesterday. There were a few technical issues, if I may call it that. A few technical issues that we were dealing with yesterday. So we couldn't come, but don't worry, we're back and better. We're definitely back and better. So just enjoy the show. So first things first, for Nigerians or for Nigerians that are not essential workers, it's official. Tomorrow is a public holiday. For y'all that have, what's it called? It is, what's the word now? What do you call that thing? Public holiday, and it is Democracy Day. Yes, for people that are wondering what it is Democracy Day. Also, so Wednesday, shout out to schools. At least people are sitting down, strike or not, there's a holiday. There's going to be a lot of holiday next 1 week. So, but basically, first things first. Also, just want to put it out there that the Senate has also approved 19.5 billion naira 2024 supplementary FCT budget. Now, we are now going to the first discussion of the day, and it is the conversation around Labour and Labour awaiting President Tinubu's decision over the minimum wage conversation. And remember that there's always been the how would I say it now? Remember there's always been the conversation of the governors. Okay, it was first federal government and the private sector paying what they can pay. Now the states are also coming out. In fact, I saw a list today. I don't know how verifiable that list is. That list is talking about how the kind of things that the labor union can pay and what they cannot pay. Sorry, not the labor union, states, different governors. There are a lot of lists. There are people that are talking as far as 80,000 naira. River State talking as far as 80,000 naira. There's talks of likes of Lagos State talking 75,000 naira minimum wage. A lot of people hovering about around 50,000 naira minimum wage. The list is Zamfara talking about 30,000. That's all he can pay. And I saw one that's very interesting. Osho State, like I said, I think that is actually just gist. But they're talking about being able to pay 57,000 naira minimum wage. Osho State. And my question is, how much are they paying now that you want to suddenly start paying 57,000 naira?
They see the books. I don't know how.
She get my point. Like, yes. You should be at least pay the original one first. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, come on. Yeah, you get. Like, you get.
Do not say what. Not to overprice.
Don't do what you.
Don't overprice your market.
Exactly. Now you get my point. Now you get what I'm saying. Like, what are we?
When there's a lull in their conversation, I always say, okay, that you have to sorrow, you can talk.
No, there's no lull.
So, starting from the last story that we're talking about now, the Nigerian Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, and their affiliates are asking for an umbrella minimum wage. It was never meant to be like that. It was, in my opinion, was never.
What do you mean by umbrella minimum wage? Like for
the
everybody?
same minimum wage.
Isn't it that was
across
this?
board. No, it was never meant to be like that. It was never meant to be.
Okay.
But by some crazy arrangement, we've always had where this group of people come together and say, this is the minimum wage, and the government says it, and they all agree. 7,500.
Oh, now I get your point.
18,000 naira.
I get your point.
Okay, so what should it have been?
It
Just
should
put it like
be
this.
based on what I have and I can afford and what you are doing for me.
Every state's
It should be based on what I can afford.
ability to.
So
Capability to trade.
if the organized private sector collectively comes together and say, okay, you know what, by a stroke of luck, we can actually agree to pay 1 billion minimum wage. And you are going there to tell them that you want 60,000 minimum wage. You are cheating yourself.
Yeah.
But in the same organized private sector, you understand that all figures are not equal. Take a look at media houses, for instance. We are media practitioners. And we know what's happening to our colleagues in other media platforms. Some people who are earning, like the good respect that some people have not earned their salary in 9 months. I know one place in 6 months, they've not got any form of payment from, and they still go to work every day.
They go to work.
So you are now telling that person that is earning 9 months salary that minimum wage is 60,000, which means that maybe a cameraman that is on 150 or 120, he comes to work every day, spends about 12 to 15 hours, he still goes for assignments, works at weekends, he's on 120 or 150, and he's not getting paid. And you're going to tell the same media house to jack his money up. If they can't even pay 120, how are they going to pay 200 or 250? So, minimum wage is a ruse. It should be a guide, not a benchmark. It should not be a law. It should just be some kind of system that says, in Nigeria, this is what we expect. Because look at it, if it was a law that was respected, 15 states would not be paying less than 30,000 minimum wage that was agreed 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Tell me that I'm telling you something that is not a fact. Because when the law was signed into, when it was passed 5 years ago, it said 30,000 naira minimum wage. 15 states, including Osun State, did not pay it. So why are you fooling yourselves fighting for a minimum wage that does not happen?
They are still going to fight about again.
The Zamfara governor was on national TV this morning, and I heard it. And I actually saw it was quite an impressive outing for me watching that. But there was something I held on to that he kept saying. And that was the fact that it's going to depend on what I make.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying too, you see?
And there was something else that he brought. I said, in Zamfara, right? There's so many mineral mining opportunities. Maybe now is the time for government, central government, to aid states that have potentials and cannot have the strength or wherewithal to dig into those potential bits that will make them have a higher IGR, for example, or make higher sales and be able to pay workers effectively. Because honestly, states need to be helped. But states that do not talk, states that keep quiet, nobody knows what they're going through.
I like to disagree with what you're saying about, not you now, but what you're saying about the governor of Zamfara. You know, I look at the governor of Kwara, and he's creating industries. There is this sewing factory now. There's a garment factory that Kwara has created. Ekiti has created the same thing. Before all of them, the Olympic Meritosis governor had done the same thing in the state. I heard that thing as part of it. What I'm trying to say is that, was the federal government instrumental to the setting up of Ibom Airlines?
I get you.
Were they instrumental to the setting up of Ibom Airlines? No, they were not.
No, even licensing.
Sir,
even license,
you can get a license.
central.
Sir, the federal government did not earn a license to IBOM because it was IBOM.
Right.
It was because they came with a proposal and they asked for approval and they got it.
So yeah, with the proposal in hand.
Several states are empowered. All the states are empowered to start their own business ventures. Lagos State has Ibile Holdings. Ibile Holdings has businesses spread across all sectors: banking, oil, and all of that.
Yeah, and
They own markets across Lagos.
Yes.
Did the federal government do that for them? Did the federal government do that for them? You see, this is my issue. Governors who always go to the federal when it comes to when they claim they need help, but when they get those allocations, they don't go to federal to say this is how they want to spend it.
When they claim they need help.
When they claim they need help, they go to federal. But when they get their monthly allocation, the current FASC is over 2 trillion naira. The federal government is saving 1.1 and they are sharing 1.1 across the 3 tiers of government. Now, when they get those increased subventions and allocations, does the federal government tell them how to spend it? We can't continue to depend on the center saying because they have potential. Okay, it is your mate that is in Niger State that went to sign a deal in America. The only thing the federal government did for him was to facilitate it. But he had the idea. The man came. The day he said, call me farmer governor. I'm talking about Governor Bago. He said, call me farmer governor. People laughed. But now, in the next 2-3 years, if Niger State continues on that trajectory, they will feed the whole of Nigeria.
I don't find it difficult to accept that, for example, Niger discussed this with
Niger State. They have not said anything officially that I picked on.
They are not
But I'm
always
just saying, you see, the thing about Niger is that they are going on.
They're using what they have to get the
enterprise.
world. Yes.
They're going into enterprise. That's what I'm trying to say. So, why would Zamfara is one of the richest states in Nigeria based on material resources? Yes, they have insurgency, they have insecurity because people are mining those things illegally. But you see, a governor should be what he claims to be, the chief security officer of the state. The man that showed you, look at Governor Zulum, and look at what he's gone through. Look at Governor Soludo. Anambra State did not have piping water for over 16 years. Now they are piping water to people. Enugu is doing something similar. Abia is doing a whole lot. So, stop any governor that is passing the buck to the federal should resign.
I feel honestly that not all governors are. I don't want to use this word.
Although I think most of them are not. The honest truth is, the honest truth is that I think that a lot of governors, I've said it here before, I think a lot of governors just push the blame to the federal because once they wait for allocation. Yes. Can it, okay, so on this so-called list, like I said, it's just a list that is not verifiable. Yes. Borno State is proposing a 70,000 naira minimum wage. Please tell me which state. Or let's go back. Does Zamfara have the kind of insurgency that Borno State has?
No. It's similar.
But not up to. Then keep in mind, when did Zamfara zone start? Borno State has literally been the epicenter of Boko Haram since the get. Since the get. So they've had years and years of damage, not just insurgency. Even if they have years of damage there needs to be a lot of restoration in that state as well. Now, my issue with it is, I saw a bit of the governor's interview, and he made a statement. He was talking about the Minister of Defense and how the Minister of Defense, being a former governor of the state, doesn't change anything. It doesn't add anything to the and he's been there for like almost a year. Funny enough, I'm actually will be a little inclined to agree, not because he should be biased to him, but I'm like, okay, I would have expected someone with a more defense background to be a Minister of Defense.
Nah, you see, regardless of the background or whatever, this is politics at the end of the day.
Yeah, it
That
looks
statement-
more like politics.
That statement by the current governor of Zamfara is political. And I don't blame him. Because
They
every
need
of
to look into it. Well, you see, the fact is, I understand what we mean by his political statement. I do understand. But the question is that who was the former governor?
Okay, Tokumbo, let's look at it.
Who was the former governor?
Governor Matawalle.
Let's look at it this way. The current governor of Zamfara is in the PDP. The Minister of State for Defense is the APC appointed by President Tinubu. Go to Oyo State. The Minister of Power is from Oyo State. He's not a member of the PDP. He left the APC to join Accord. He was appointed as a minister as a member of Accord Party.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Do you understand? Now, you think Chilima, who is governor of Oyo, will say, oh, that the Minister of Power has not done anything for you, has done something for you. What's that got to do with anything? Do you understand? The minister is a federal minister. The minister is the federal, you are the chief security officer of the state. So you are expecting, because the man is from your state, he's supposed to divert the troops to your state. No, let's make it make sense. If it is not a political statement, then what is it?
He's not looking political to me.
It is
I think it's political.
I don't think so.
It is political. It's like Fubara. It's like Fubara in Rivers State saying, the Minister of FCT has not done anything. He's Minister of FCT.
No, maybe there's something I'm missing out.
No, why I think that?
Because really and truly, don't pass the blame, but who is in charge?
Oh yes, I agree with that.
Yes, I know.
There are two ministers.
I would have said that. I would expect that. Okay, because he's a former governor of Zamfara State. Yes, maybe there should be, and he made a very blanket statement. He made a bit of a blanket statement saying that if they're serious about insecurity, that 2 weeks is enough to stamp out bandits. And I think that is a very, very irresponsible thing to say. Why? I think that is a very, very. I think that why I said so is you cannot say what do you tell the troops, people that have lost their lives fighting this insurgency, and you say that they're not competent enough? Nah. Yeah, that's wrong. It's wrong.
In 2 weeks' time, that question came. In 2 weeks' time, all this could be over.
Yeah.
And he foolishly said yes. Well, I use the word foolish.
Yes, I agree. I think it's unfair. It's unfair on it's unfair on the troops that have put their lives on the line, that are still putting their lives on the line for Nigeria and for Nigerians. I think that it's a very responsible thing to say. But I think that we should also look at a lot of these things holistically. Like I said, when it comes to what does each state earn, and like I said, except we'll say that some of these things are not right, or the arrangement is not working, the figures are not right. I do not understand why a Borno state now would pay for Zamfara. I actually watched it where he actually said that they're just paying 30,000 minimum wage this June.
This is exactly.
And now, are you saying that former governors, none of them, especially the last governor, did not pay the 30,000 naira minimum wage? And so one might look at it two ways. If he's talking about him just being able to pay 30,000, it means that he's been realistic with his issues on ground.
But now, we can't always take everything they say hook, line, and sinker. My own take, again, I repeat, is that him and the immediate past governor have not covered themselves in glory. But he's only been there for 1 year, so I'll cut him some slack. But the truth is, he's not looking like he wants to take full charge and grow their IGL. Most of the money that people are paying, they are basing
Zamfara
it on,
has about the highest level of gold.
They are basing it on federal allocation. If you listen to the governors talk, they are saying, oh, if they give us this money every month, how much will be left if we pay this salary? Do you see their problem?
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about IGR. True. So how are you going to drive your IGR in your state?
It's a salary to them too.
That's the problem.
It's a salary to
That
them
is
too.
the problem, Tokumbo.
Yeah.
But if they were serious about governance, and every state has the power to do a whole lot of stuff, they own the land in their states. Federal government cannot come and reallocate their land. It belongs to the governors. Now the things within the land belongs to them also.
Of course.
And if you notice, everything has been decentralized to a large extent. Power generation, since the government signed that bill to say states can generate their own power, how many states have created their own power generating companies? How many of them have created their own transmission systems and everything?
You have a point.
These are the issues. Let's not conflict issues. My own, I don't want to be about Zamfara alone. I just want to say generally
it's a general talk.
Governors are the problem of this country. And until governors wake up and leave behind all this their laziness and all this talk about federal allocations and focus on their IGR, create employment as it should be. Now, one of the biggest problems they have is an overbloated workforce. Look, I stand to be corrected, but I stand on it. The bulk of the workers that are employed, especially at the state level and even at federal level, are people that are virtually redundant. A lot of them are doing nothing
and they get paid.
There's a president that mistakenly a lot of Nigerians were comparing Nigeria to Argentina. The president of Argentina came into power sometime last year. They kept us, because he said he was going to sell one private jet. Meanwhile, they didn't tell you that he went to buy a newer one. That Nigeria should copy them. Guess what he has done? In the first couple of months, he sacked 25,000 people from the workforce. A few months after, 50,000. The bottom line is he wants to sack about 75 to 100,000 workers. Do you know what he's doing? It's cutting costs. But guess what happens? You are causing problems with the economy because the bulk of those people are now going to go into the labor market.
Going to the labor market. That's why I say, where is cutting them to?
But
it's smart.
Of the 1 million
saving money.
But it's stupid at the end of the day. Of the 1 million plus people that Nigeria employs at the federal level, if you sack 100,000 of them today, there will be problems.
There would be. No.
So the focus is on the laziness of government, and that's where I'm going to anchor this.
I don't think they have enough time. They don't have enough time because if the salary is spent eventually, and some governors are able to pay, and some governors still sit down and say they cannot pay, they are not thinking in what, as you rightly pointed out, and they are sitting down, they cannot still pay. The people will tell them when to pay and how to pay. The people that they govern. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
just stop using appointments into the civil service as some form of empowerment.
The truth is that I don't even think that.
Most civil servants in some other states that are not viable are thinking of relocation.
I don't even think that.
Then I would.
I don't even think. The funny thing is that I don't even think that people should. They need to sack a lot of these people. I think a lot of people, a lot of parastatals or agencies are kind of redundant. I agree. But I feel that a lot of people could also be put in other places. Take, for example, we talk about, maybe in Lagos now, we talk about a lot of monitoring. Let's take housing, for example. There's a lot of monitoring that you will talk about, and then there's a need for a lot more hands to check, to go back to check buildings and all that. If somebody from another, if you have too many people in one, put them in that kind of a ministry, more people need to go out anyway.
Monitoring, right?
Yeah.
I will argue with that and say that if I was the government, rather than do that, I would invest in technology to make that monitoring easier, and I also invest in outsourcing. Because you'll be shocked at some of the roles that the so-called civil servants are playing. If I outsource it might end up being
it's more effective
and cheaper.
That's true. That's also true.
Competition will be up positively.
Oh yes,
Positive competition will help.
it definitely will
Because
be.
civil servants, you're sitting down there, and all of a sudden you see some extra nurses working to do extra jobs around you.
Look,
You
not
begin
all.
to understand. It's an example. That's a department I'm picking. It's just an example
Yeah.
for me. Then you begin to understand why it is you have to sit up. A lot of people do not. The air of complacency is so
It's
terrible.
horrible.
And people have extra side jobs because they have extra time doing nothing.
Doing nothing, exactly.
There are a lot of civil servants that will hate what we're discussing
Oh,
and
they will.
how we're discussing.
Yeah, but it is what
But
it
we're at
is.
the point where we need to speak the truth to ourselves. And you also take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you being as productive as those monies that you are demanding and that you've been earning?
And remember
Because
that.
a lot of you guys are really just being.
Yeah, and remember the conversation of the former deputy governor of the CBN talking about Nigerian workers are not as productive as the amount of money they're asking. It is the honest truth.
Yes.
Whether we like it or not, you might not like it.
That's a Mogalu.
More Kingsley Mogalu. It is true. And anyway, still talking about it, just want to put this out there as well. Dangote Refinery has shifted petrol supply to mid of July. Remember there was conversation of him starting that.
I have always been of the opinion that you should under promise and over deliver. And setting a target and not meeting it the second time dampens morale, kills hope, and just messes with people's minds. However, I also want to encourage Nigerians. I did some digging, doing some chatting with some people, and I found out that we have maintained it here that the pump price of fuel will not face a drastic drop, but apparently it might.
It might
With the
actually.
new decision by the federal government to say that they should prioritize local refineries over exploitation of crude. So if they do that consistently over a period of months, the cost of refining and everything will crash the price of petrol at the pumps.
Yeah, it might. It definitely just might. Now, before we leave,
July is already here, Mr. Ali.
yeah. So
You know,
we'll
I
see.
call him Ali, he's my friend.
Yeah, it is your friend. I see.
You keep calling them friends.
Anyway, still wanted to talk about one that Labour said. The NLC president talked about how he was waiting for the president's decision. My question is, when they went on strike last week, why are they waiting for president's decision? Did they wait for president's decision when they turned off the grid?
But the discussion is still on.
Oh, okay.
We have a
The
message.
discussion is still on.
What's wrong with you people's mic? Okay.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback. Apparently that must be affecting us. I've seen people tune in and tune out. It sounds good to us where we are, but definitely we'll take this as feedback.
We'll definitely check.
And yes, we just upgraded our technical systems, and sadly there are kinks here and there. But thank you for the feedback.
Is it better now?
Definitely look into it.
Okay, so still talk. Like I said, why are you waiting for the president? You didn't wait for the president when you were taking your decision last week, your ridiculous decisions. Why are you waiting for the president this time? I think at this point, like I said, it's beginning to look like they have overdone it.
A wise man once said that you give a dog a bad name so that you can hang it. You actually want to hang the dog, but you give it a bad name so you can hang it. Again, it is called passing the buck. So at the end of the day, they say, is the president.
Is the president.
I like that. Unfortunately, people are very learned now. We're so open. We see everything.
You people are not a serious bunch.
You can't continue to tag the. You can't continue to tag the dog as Charles rightly said. I believe so.
Yes.
This time it's playing out. Ask yourself vital questions. What have you done? What haven't you done? You've taken the wrong step already.
It will now look funny. I think that's the problem. You know that it will now look funny
Now they have their tails
if,
between their
do you understand,
legs.
if they say that they just want to. That's where it's okay. But anyway, we don't care. I don't care. Y'all do you.
We're concerned though.
I'm not.
It's okay.
I'm not.
It's okay.
Anyway, just wanted to move it from that It's true. I'm actually not. Anyway, moving on from that, as the chairman of the or the chairperson of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission has now met with 10 Nigerian girls who were tricked to Ghana for sex work. So there was a story last week where a number of girls, a man was tricked his sisters and I think a couple of their friends to go to Ghana. I know that it might sound absurd to someone like me, which I feel this sounds absurd though, but I'm like, Ghana, really, of all places.
It's because you probably, like you said, are in your own comfort zone and your own focus is on different things. People are going to even neighboring Benin Republic for stuff, to Togo and Cameroon, and do you know how many Nigerians are stuck in water, Libya? So that's the thing. Some people have this erroneous, yes. So they have this erroneous belief that the grass is greener everywhere else but Nigeria. So, and again, at times it works for them, at times it doesn't work. But staying with the real story, the man took his own blood sister, same mother, same father. Then a couple of girls from his village in Imo State, and a couple of girls from Jos in Plateau State. And the girls, the range between 15 and 16-year-old girls and all of that. And he has put them to work in Ghana. So there was some kind of raid and bust on him. And you know how they're quick to blame the devil and all sorts of other people except themselves. And I was having a discussion with a friend. He lives in America. I said, wow, the government should do this for them and do that. I said, to be honest with yourself, there are things that government should do. But what are you doing for yourself? Are you living within your means? A lot of people really don't care about anything other than being wealthy. And they're going to do anything that they can to become rich. They will stop at nothing to achieve this so-called wealth that they are after. And that's what the category that this young man falls into. So he was able to transport. Now let's ask ourselves, did they all go as a team or as a party? How are 10 girls traveling with one guy? Or did they go in batches? How are they able to cross the borders? What kind of scrutiny was available there? And again, if there was no whistleblower, if there was no some kind of investigation,
It must have been an expensive job.
then now ask yourself again, how many girls are like that in
Other parts of the world. Yeah, that you don't know.
Because
it makes it worse.
That gives me some headache, really. It shows that, what are we exporting? What are we exporting? Who is in charge of this thing? The woman in charge of the diaspora, she has a right to, and every Nigerian has a right to be concerned about this.
Yes, it is. It's very, very.
It's so pathetic.
It's very disturbing. It was very some very disturbing news. Anyway, so at least the government is in on this now, and hopefully these girls will be back. Now, there's a bit of news that popped up yesterday that I felt that we should go through, and one of this is the our 35 House of Rep members are calling for they're asking for a bill to be passed, a bill that's talking about rotational presidency, single term tenure of 6 years for presidents and governors, how there should be 2 vice presidents, how the first vice president and the president should be from the same zone, how the Electoral Act needs to be tweaked, different all sorts of stuff. How there should be financial autonomy for local government councils and all that. And I think that it might not be a bad idea, but also talking about how all states should have their elections at the same time.
That's a given.
Now my question is, how do all states have their elections at the same time? Remember that the reasons for that is because of governors being sacked by the courts. Now, are we going to say that governors that are sacked by the courts will finish their 4-year tenure or
There's no other point.
the new
You're right.
person that comes in will just complete that tenure, and he will not have his own 4 years.
Yes.
Wouldn't people feel cheated? Do you understand? So I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about it and clamor for it, but it's one of the issues that I feel that I've been bothering. I'm not sure I've ever said it out, but I'm like, how is this going to work? Except you want to scrap courts and say that there are no electoral
How is
courts.
it going to work? There's a reason. There's a reason. Just indulge me.
Okay.
How there are not going to be governors elections for 36 states at the same time.
It's a joke. It's a bad joke. The reason why I wanted you to reiterate is because I wanted to come at it from this angle. There is no way you're going to change what is already on ground, because the
You
constitution.
can't balance it out.
There's no
You
way.
can't balance it
There is
out.
no way. If someone is elected, he must spend his 4 years. Except he dies, and even if he dies, his deputy will finish his tenure. So they should stop all this chasing clouds and
They
everything.
already lost the count.
Just leave it the way it
It's not
is.
They
working.
already lost the count.
The sad part is it's a good system that works.
Yeah.
So leave it alone.
That they feel that so states would there will be more free and fair elections if everybody. That's my issue.
You know what the friend told me? He says, people are so, anytime you meet new proposals or ideas like this, the guy just says, people are so idle.
That I do. See,
He was, and I look at it sometimes.
some of these bills. Okay, let me give you. This is not part of their own submission, but there's another conversation that has been going on for months or years about how they want to reserve some House of Assembly seats for women. How are you saying that there's some people that you're going to tell them that it's only women? What qualifies them to have only women and not men? Then you are disenfranchising other people.
Yeah.
Like, make it make sense.
Sometimes, this is my opinion. Well, this is personal to me. I just read these things and I imagine I'm watching a social skit and I laugh and move on to the next story. Because that's the way it comes out of it. Sometimes I'm asking questions. Who is thinking of this? The other time, well, I try to, validate the story about somebody saying that cows around people also count cows. When you are counting numbers.
People that are not bright.
Exactly. So I'm looking at it. Okay, can anybody really? Although he was locked down, would I ever go to the hall or the floor of the house and make such submission, right? And it's a big question for me. I'm asking questions rather than now. My next question is this: don't we think we have an over-bloated sequence of governance? People are also just as civil servants.
Yeah, let's even start from the House of Assembly.
Show me the leaders. Leaders should come out.
We almost have
Cut down allowances.
there are about 400.
Let us be very pragmatic with some things.
See, we're talking about allowances. I know a lot of people are talking about allowances. Why are we not talking about the number of people in the House?
For me, yes.
The lawmakers are about 469 or something. What are you people doing there?
They go with it. Because they come with cars,
What are you people doing there? So maybe we should start from before even reducing the allowances, half everybody. Then let's have a conversation.
Why do we need 2 houses at the federal level and we have 1 at the state level? Why can't we have 1 across the board? Scrap the Senate, man. Keep it the House of Reps.
Change the national anthem. Abi, we are thinking of changing flag, right? Let's look at the constitution and the governance process.
Who are the people that are going to change it? Are they not the ones that will change it?
It will never happen because they're the ones that pass laws.
They're the ones that pass the laws. So it's not going to
Pass
happen.
law against themselves.
That, it's time to go home. They're going to tell them to sack yourself.
Sack yourself.
It's not going to happen.
How many years is talking about that one? For 6
And you find the things, I remember the senator that was on his way out when he started talking about it, after he had collected salary for 4 years. Am I lying?
Never lie.
We're not in this country. Any which way, Sha. Yesterday, state governors had come out talking about urging the federal government on nationwide metering. And why were they talking about that? They're basically talking about removing electricity subsidy completely.
Please, dear Mr. President, be careful of the advice that you receive. You have removed subsidies on petrol, and you know what's going on with that. Don't remove electricity subsidies suddenly until there are plans in place for alternative power and other things. So, for your own good.
Yeah.
For your own good.
For even those things. Now let's move on from that quickly. And just wanted to place out there the FRSC. This talk about the FRSC, and they are just telling people that only the living can celebrate Sallah. So have sense.
Drive safe.
Drive safe.
Don't drink and drive.
Basically.
Don't eat too much meat and drive also, you see. Too much of anything is bad, because if you eat too much meat, it can cause obstetrical constipation of the
Would you want to explain that?
No. What? No.
Of the bifocal.
You don't talk garbage, but what does that mean?
Obstetrical constipation of the bifocal lens. Which means that if you eat too much meat,
Anyway.
and you don't share with us,
Anyway, court let's go to River State. Interesting news from River State yesterday, where the court has thrown out a suit that was seeking to declare 27 Rivers Assembly member seats vacant. Now, according to the courts, they said that apparently those lawmakers never officially wrote resignation letters to the PDP.
Facts only. Actually, those are facts.
Apparently, they just announced it, and the court is saying that for you to not be a member of a party again, you have to officially resign and officially be accepted in another party, that they are still members of the PDP. So there is no story of that exactly.
It's difficult.
However, the Rivers Attorney General came out to say that, to be honest, I don't understand what he said.
What did he say?
To be honest, I don't understand what he said. I don't even know.
Say it now.
Read what you have.
He has dismissed the reports on the people being PDP members. He said they are no longer PDP members because there are written statements of the speaker and these other people resigning, and this case is already in the Federal High Court.
Yeah, so let's wait for the federal.
So we should wait for it.
But keep in mind, State High Court is not, Federal High Court is not higher than State High
High
Court.
Court is High Court.
High Court is High Court.
Court.
Oh yeah, High Court is High
It's
Court.
only the appellate court that is high.
Now, my question is, I hope that this high federal and state high court drama will not cause another set of people to be summoned.
Well, someone or not, the imbroglio that's going on in River State is not about to end. And I'm sure the judgments and the last pronouncement that happened in the last 24 hours or 48 hours does not go well with a certain set of people.
Oh, obviously.
Again, I repeat that I wish Governor Farah handled this differently. I wish he had better advisors than he does, because it's not looking good for him. And remember, no matter what you say, the law does not recognize your sentiment. It's the facts. And the facts are looking like the people you said you are chasing away. Because again, I wonder how 3 people anyway can.
Do you know for how long we've been on this matter?
The matter has not ended now. The matter has not ended. Sense prevails.
Until sense prevails. But we warned Oga. We kept on shouting, Oga, settle this thing in the chamber, inner chamber.
I just hope that Governor Fubara lasts till December. Who are his advisors, Abi?
There's a Bible verse, that says that you should settle the person that you should settle before it takes you to.
Other than that, wisdom is the principal thing in all you're getting.
Yeah.
Get knowledge.
Get knowledge.
And wisdom.
So that's why I say who's advising you, because again, you should have
It's very interesting. Anyway, still talking about a bit about the courts. A court has reinstated a monarch dethroned by former governor El-Rufai and has awarded 10 million naira damages to the monarch. Now, according to him, the monarch was dethroned a few days before Governor El-Rufai left office. And why he went to court, the industrial court, was that he wasn't given a fair hearing. And why former Governor El-Rufai had dethroned him was said there was some clash, some ethnic clash or something, and people died, houses were burned, and Governor El-Rufai did not hear anything. It means since you do not have a hold of your town, be gone.
So now the court now said what?
The court has now said that yes, he can go back, and the Kaduna state government should pay him 10 million naira in damages.
Will they be appealing? Probably.
Maybe it's very possible. It's actually very possible. We'll see where that would go. Now, before we quickly rush off, let's talk about a bit of news. First things first, the Super Eagles. The sports minister is said to have summoned the NFF over the poor results of the Super Eagles in this World Cup qualifiers. So I heard that there was a draw and a loss.
You heard?
And now?
In this country.
Okay. So I heard now.
Sorry,
I didn't watch, so I just heard.
4 games. You played 4 games on your way to the World Cup. And you know, the funny thing about it is that Africa had only 4 slots before. And now you're getting 9. And of 9, there's a large percentage that we won't get there. We won't make it. This was something that my friend wrote on Twitter, Colin Udo. You know, there's a 90% chance that Nigeria won't go, even with the increased number. That 9 or 10 African countries will make it to an expanded World Cup. And ask yourself, the nation that finished second at the Nations Cup might not make it to the World Cup.
What's happening, man?
What's happening is that we plan to fail, so we fail to plan, so we plan to fail. What's happening is that I feel that Finidi George is not the problem. He's taking a job where he was already messed up. The former coach that some people are fighting for had played 2 draws home and away.
Yeah, but they could have won these ones.
So
what happens to these ones?
The problem is multifaceted. The players, look at them. Look at the way they play. How committed were they? Finidi George himself, he said they shouldn't criticize his players, that they shouldn't tell him who to change. Okay, now you have played 2 games. Funny thing is, Finidi has played 4 games because he was acting coach when
when they played.
What did they achieve?
Yeah.
And he still got the job. Do you understand? He still got the job. And you look at the selections at times, you're like, okay, we know that there's no Osimhen and there's no, but are these the best?
How did you come up with this? So maybe it's time to actually look at maybe he is also a problem.
If you're struggling against Lesotho, Benin Republic, South Africa,
keep in mind,
you don't deserve to go to
keep in mind, this team has won a lot of people that have won their leagues. They are playing fantastically well. At least 90% of them are playing fantastically well.
Indeed, they qualified to the Premier League at the top of their own league.
At the top of their own league.
Boniface won the Bundesliga.
He won the Europa League.
Ademola won Europa. So I can go on and on and on about it. And the truth is, they're not gelling as a team.
They're not.
So
they're not just
we should stop living on past glory.
And face
for as long as we don't fix our league. The South Africans came to play with a predominantly home-based team. Then you are playing game on Raw. A man that and there's a lot of anger and angst.
And he knows how you play.
Nigeria's team B, and you still can't beat them. Go and check the names of players in Benin Republic. You know, funny thing is, we were in touch with one or two of them on Saturday. And they were talking to one of their guys in Nigeria here, and they're like, that they plan to win, that they're not going to roll.
You know, first time, this is the first time that a republic has actually ever beaten Nigeria.
I was virtually ostracized on Saturday in the midst of sports writers. I called them out this morning. Last night. They've not responded. I called them out. At some point, we have to joke about it. They said they know I'm joking. I said we're not going to the World Cup the way we're playing.
Okay, right? No window anyway.
There's still a few.
Next year.
No, next year. There's still a few qualifiers.
Next year, you need to win all the games that are left,
yes.
and hope that those other people start cancelling them.
Yes, then we start using permutation and combination, which is what they do all the time. Anyway, coming down to the MPFL, a very interesting story where something happened a few days ago, and this is where there was a disrupted derby. Southeast derby between the Rangers and Enyimba. Now, so the Enyimba team walked out of the stadium because they claim that the Rangers were given a late penalty. Not just that, their fans then now eroded.
Was it an away for?
It was an away for Enyimba. Keep in mind, the league is about to end, so they all want to get to the top. Now, so they walked out of the stadium, their fans eroded the pitch, and it was pretty messy. Now, the MPFL has now today announced that, number one, both teams are fined. Enyimba is fined 10 million naira for their conduct. The home team, Rangers, is fined 5 million naira for not providing proper security to letting board. However, for Enyimba walking out, they have lost the game, and 3 points and 3 goals were awarded to Rangers.
The game has rules and regulations. Even if you're not happy with the decision of a referee, you can actually appeal. It's a league. You know, you can actually appeal. They take a review and make some decisions.
But you conclude the match.
But then you walked away, and of course that also caused some kind of strife in the stadium and all. Enyimba, I think they messed up on this one. They didn't cover themselves in glory. They should have finished that game and played under protest. Who's to say that they would even score the penalty against you?
Exactly. That was FD.
And again, it shows that Rangers are now in pole position to win the league.
To win the league, exactly. This is probably the first time.
And one of the things that Rangers have done, one of the things that they've done for themselves was that they have a young man who worked, in the team as a backroom staff and everything. Then he went abroad, he got some qualifications, learned a lot about sports management, and he's back in charge of Rangers, and they're doing some amazing work.
They definitely are. Now, Chelsea have agreed personal terms with Crystal Palace's Olise. So they're talking about Olise. Sorry,
yeah,
Olise.
Yeah, it was dropped from the French national team. Someone who's also supposed to play for Nigeria, but looks like he'll be making it to the Olympics in Paris, which is where he's from now, from France. And that guy will be an amazing addition to any team at the moment, because at Crystal Palace he was the main man.
Oh, he was. He definitely was. Now, finally, before we go, sadly, a few days ago there was an announcement that there was a plane carrying the vice president of Malawi and had gone off radar. There was nothing they couldn't find the plane. Now, according to the president today, it's official. The plane has been found, but the vice president and 9 others who were on the plane died.
It's always very hard to hear about a
So it was a crash, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. It was.
It's always very hard to hear about the plane going off radar and people still surviving. It's very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
May our souls rest in traffic.
Yeah, so on that note, that is all we have to take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you very, very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of the Bomba. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. Okay, so
Did you let the video to just make it?
Yeah, he said I should let it.
I can't hear anything.
I had a feeling it's possible.
Go play out.
No, kì í ṣe pé kò play out, ó náà pé volume yẹn low.
Volume yẹn low.
Ẹ wo volume yẹn bí.
Possible kò loud létí bàbá yẹn kó dẹ̀.
Yes, ẹ wo bí. Ibi gan, volume yẹn is normally Sherry bí tó dúró. I had a feeling. I told Akin to send a message.
Can you test? Can you do another rough test? Taking she installation here.
I don't understand. When you are talking, change the camera to 1, then 2 and 3. There's an echo of feedback trailing the voices. Can't hear the better.
It's definitely a lot of work.